Hey there, ADB024 Aaron here. I'm in Lane County, Oregon, Joseph Lane County, Oregon, and of course, you know, he was a proud supporter of the Confederacy. His son was a Confederate veteran, and I'm in western Lane County, and like all of Lane County, supported the Confederacy, and all southern Oregon, most of all of Oregon, supported the Confederacy, and even a lot of big wigs, a lot of big shots in the Confederacy after the war to escape Reconstruction came to Oregon. And I'll go on more about this later on and show you some of the homes that some of these possibly some generals and such lived here in Oregon afterwards, escaped the South. They were welcome in Oregon because we supported the Confederacy, but tried to escape the Union, but never happened, maybe because the war wasn't going so good and we were a little secluded from the South up here. And here we have, here in Oregon, this is a 21st Virginia Cavalry, Confederate States of America, C.S.A. Mr. Armstead Franklin Davis. And 1844 to 1925. 1925, you know, it's funny, and there's a lot of good footage in the 20s of the Confederate veterans and Civil War veterans and all that. And today is Memorial Day, and as you can see, even by this guy, they do have a Union USA flag. Eugene, Oregon, west of Eugene. And it's a Memorial Day weekend, and here I am at the Mulkey Cemetery, and it's a very important cemetery to understand Oregon's history, Pacific Northwest history. Here is Philip Mulkey, and 1802 to 1893, and it does say here Kentucky preacher. I would credit him with helping definitely spread and bring Christianity to the Pacific Northwest. So one of the most important guys, I think, in the Pacific Northwest. I'm going to go through the cemetery. Very important. A lot of cemeteries in this area are a lot of big names that help shape Oregon. Sadly, the true history is trying to be overwritten. Alright guys, so here's Mulkey's grave. Not in the best shape. You can see it's been broken in half, and then it's been laid here. It just says, you know, Philip Mulkey born, and then the rest of the information's been cut off, so too bad. I guess one of the worst shaped graves here, but you know, these are all Mulkey graves in here. We got some Bargers back here. Barger is this area. Here's Eugene, West Eugene down here. The Barger area is over this way, and we'll look out here is where the Richardsons were. There's actually some Richardson graves here in the cemetery also, and Richardsons were some of the most outspoken people in support of Joseph Lane, who the county is named after, who Mulkey, the Bargers, the Whitakers, Eugene Skinner himself, who Eugene, Oregon here is named after, all hung out, you know, with the, of course, Joseph Lane. And Lane County actually voted to secede from the Union and join the Confederacy. And Joseph Lane actually ran as a vice president against Lincoln on the Southern ticket, getting all the votes of all the Southern Confederate states, and most of all of Southern Oregon voted to secede and join the Confederacy. And I don't know, so it's just too bad history's really being rewrote, and we had a big rewrite of history here in the 60s, a group of people that like to rewrite history. Now you guys are experiencing it nationally, so you get to understand a little bit what's happened here. Here's a Mulkey. So the family's still around, and this Mulkey here, he died on a Japanese prison ship. So that's something else. A lot of United States veterans in here, real nice. There's a World War II vet. Now here's some of the Richardson graves. There's a World War II vet just died in 2007, Mathers, and their family was up here today taking care of the old family plot here, and put out flowers for them and all that, and got all the weeds out of the grave site and all that. Speaking of family plots like this and maintenance of cemeteries, this is actually a nice cemetery compared to some of these here in Eugene. Very, very run down. I want you to check out some footage of a cemetery in Russia, and a lot of these graves were even made in Soviet Union times, and where even religion was illegal, yet people were still going against the wishes of the government and going with the traditional Christian Orthodox burials. So let's check that out. A Russian cemetery here. It's a little different than what we have in America from what I'm used to in Oregon on the West Coast. All the plots here are maintained by yourself, so you have to visit your relative or family member's grave and maintain it yourself. So a lot of the graves then get overtaken by you know, plants and such. So I'll show you here. It's real different from what I'm used to, but all your grave markers have the pictures of the loved ones, and so you can see how these plots are, and you have to maintain it yourself. And then something that's real different too is, notice this table here. So you can come here and kind of have a picnic and remember the lost ones. And here's a view of real nice view of Adler, Sochi area here, and you can see the Black Sea there in the distance. And right down here is the Adler Sochi Airport. And the size of this graveyard is huge. It goes on for long ways. Takes up a lot of space and land with the layout of these plots.